Cannes is fun to watch because, well, it's the French Riviera, so it has its own sort of je ne sais quoi style.
And you've got that stairway that goes up and up and up and up.
When I'm dressing a celebrity for the red carpet, what I'm trying to achieve is them feeling confident in their fashion. And I think when they feel good in what they're wearing, they hit that carpet and they exude confidence.
For us, it's always all about getting to the root of their style, their aesthetic, because once we do that and then we figure out how to contemporize it and maybe polish it, what we end up with is a client who feels like the outside look completely represents the inside of them. And that's the win. That's always the goal. And that it's this collaborative, creative journey with them. And then they leave feeling like a goddess or a god. They get to leave feeling completely empowered by the armor that we have all collaborated on making together.
I think you can tell when a sort of dress is overpowering the person and it becomes the dress wearing the person rather than the person wearing the dress. You've really got to work with who you're dressing and what they want also to message when they're wearing whichever outfit they're going to be wearing. Ultimately, I feel like the way that we present ourselves to the world, that's sort of the way that the world's going to come back to us. If you're feeling confident and good in what you're wearing, you're going to get confidence and goodness coming back to you.
So our stylists definitely work around the clock. There's a huge amount of logistics that are involved and connections that have been made over the years with designers and PR houses. In between, there are complications that arise someone else has worn something similar and then you have to suddenly divert and create something new. So you really have to be on the ball. I keep saying the word, but it's such a collaborative thing because you're not just dealing with the talent itself. You're dealing with lots of the shoe designer, the jewellery brands, and then all the logistics of combining that all together. And the client might only need one outfit, but you have to logistically get 50 outfits in to try to select from.
There's a whole army of people that work towards that. It doesn't, we think celebrities just wake up and that's what they look like. But no, there is a whole team of people behind them. And it's so much effort and it could take months, it could take weeks. But yeah, in the end, it's so worth it because once it's done and they're out there, it's like sending your child off to their first day of school.
Cannes is old European glamour. Yeah, it is. Cannes is...
It's like the old movies that you watch.
It's Convertibles and Grace Kelly and To Catch a Thief and amazing 50s swimming costumes and...
It is like an international reunion. All your stylist friends are there, all the PRs are there, all the designers are there, and it's the best of the film world as well. You can go to lunch and there'll be Spike Lee. That it's not a tension. Sometimes when you're in LA, it's quite a fuss. Oh, celebrity fuss. But there, I just feel like everyone's just there for Cannes. They've just dropped down all the barriers, and it's kind of this equilibrium almost when you go for the film festivals.
And I think there's an energy and a buzz because things are just happening 24/7, and there's an energy and a buzz and a vibe. And I do think there's something magical about being on the beach and on the Croisette, and at times you do feel like you're in an amazing Cary Grant film, and it's just magical.
It's one of the only 360 carpets, and you've got that stairway that goes up and up and up and up. That red carpet is built to have huge trains trailing down the stairs. And there's so many great moments like Kristen Stewart where she took her shoes off because she was like, this is such a long carpet.
I think Cannes is fun to watch because, well, it's the French Riviera, so it has its own sort of je ne sais quoi style. You often see celebrities with sunglasses battling with the sunshine. It has many sort of really high-rated films, very brilliant actors, actresses, film directors. There's so much stuff going on away from the ceremony itself. So it's a mixture of that sort of old and new, I think, that makes it quite interesting.
Out of all the film festivals, Cannes is really special, and I think it's because of where it takes place. In the south of France is a gorgeous setting and backdrop for fashion. It's, where the red carpet meets the sea. This completely elegant carpet where you look out and just everybody's head to toe black tie. The photographers are in their tuxedos and ties, and we think of these beautiful, I don't know if it was people from a Fellini movie, or there's a real sense of glamour and old world Hollywood there.
What I also think that makes Cannes really special is the fact that it's not just a one-night event or one evening. It runs over a period of a couple of days, and I think, again, there's such a nice build-up because you get to hear about people that are usually behind the cameras in film. They're usually, brought at the forefront. So you just get to see a lot of people that you wouldn't necessarily see on the red carpet. And I think that's always refreshing. It's glamorous anyway, so why would you not want to go or be a part of it?
So one of my favourite Cannes looks of all time was, I think it's 2015, worn by Sienna Miller. It was a grey Gucci dress, quite a simple top, but a beautiful long grey lace skirt that sort of had an amazing train. She had a flower belt. She had her hair in a sort of really interesting plait twist at the top, and she just looked incredible.
One of my all-time favorite Cannes red carpet moments would be Zoe Saldana wearing a red and white Armani Privé, like candy striped dress. It wasn't classic Hollywood. The shape may have been because it was strapless and it had like a modern kind of bow on the side. And this fabric I remember it had such a luster to it. It kind of made a splash. It was red and white, and you're against the blue of the water. And I don't know, I just felt like this dress may not have had such a moment anyplace else, but in Cannes, it was like just the right place.
You know what it is? I think you never forget your first.
Yeah.
So for me, it was with this beautiful Icelandic actress. Her name is Maria Thelma Smaradottir. I'm obsessed with Valentino Pierpaolo, what he does. And it was this really beautiful kind of rosy salmony pink dress with like this floral embroidery. It was in 2018. When I saw her walking on the carpet, I was like, oh my God, I think I've made it. I think I'm a stylist now. I think I'm actually a stylist now. I was like, I'm at Cannes, I have a client on the carpet. So yeah, that for me will always kind of remain embedded for me as a big moment for me.
My favorite Cannes look was in 2019, so very, very recently. It's Chloe Savini, and she was wearing Mugler, this incredible gown that was super busty and just really classic Hollywood glamour. It had these gloves that were kind of cut from the dress, so it was all one piece. I love that juxtaposition of her effortlessness and then Mugler's incredibly modern silhouette. And the two together, I thought it was so cool.
I'll firstly start off with Elle Fanning. She stepped out in this Lady Dior look, and I just thought, wow, she must have been in her early 20s or even teens. Such a surprise to people because she's so young. You would never expect her to come out in this kind of like Audrey Hepburn silhouette and shape. It may have been like the look was wearing her rather than she was wearing the look, but she totally owned it, and I was so won by it because it was so classic and done so well. Yeah, I loved it. It was really, really, really elegant. Yeah, they played it well.
Since the Cannes Film Festival takes place over multiple days, when it comes to dressing a client for it, I really feel like we kind of go the distance. Like we kind of do some fun things like colorful fashion, and it's outdoors, and sometimes it's windy, and sometimes, so it's like you want to put people in like beautiful dresses. Sometimes it's even a little bit more elevated than the normal, daytime dressing.
When you're styling for, press tours or something like Cannes where there's going to be multiple events, you can sort of use every occasion as an opportunity to dress your client how they want to feel and how they want to portray themselves. Those kind of events can take a lot of planning, and quite a lot of work goes into those, yeah.
So I think quite often you do see like a running thread, like a theme happening. But mainly I think people are just like celebrating fashion and celebrating themselves and having this opportunity to look wonderful and glamorous.
I would take the opportunity to try and, be as creative as I can and do something different every night and kind of surprise my onlookers or my audience. Because, I like to keep it fun. Fashion's fun, shouldn't be serious.
So my second favourite look from Cannes is actually a dress worn by Julianne Moore. It was a red caped feather dress. It was feathers on the inside of the cape, quite sort of contemporary lines cut at the front. She had her hair up, she had jewels on, she just looked incredible, I think. The red colour with her red hair was just a real moment.
For me, it was when I dressed Nadine Leopold. She was really going into maybe more away from modelling and more into kind of advocating for things that were really important to her. And I just thought, this cannot be about another brand or another thing. It has to be her story. And so there is an off-book jeweller who works in Paris called Edmiston, and you cannot get in touch with her. She works out of this great space in Paris and she makes completely custom one-off pieces. And I had been at her studio in Paris and seen this incredible necklace of butterflies. And so I rang her thinking there's no way she'll say yes, but I said to her, I know I want this necklace. And I said, I also want to make the dress to hang from the necklace. I want everything to come from these butterflies and to be flowing. And she was like, okay, and I couldn't believe it. And then Nicholas Oakwell Couture kindly came and made this incredible bodysuit, like almost like lingerie, but like nude and feminine and playful and young. And then this really Grecian goddess kind of beautiful white chiffon that just came all from the necklace. So the look gave her the chance to say, this is actually what I'm transitioning into and this is my change now. And that made me feel amazing.
When Chloe wore the Miu Miu little mini dress with the massive bow on her shoulder, I love that she was wearing a mini dress at Cannes, and it just shows you again like this cool effortlessness about her where she's like doesn't care about conforming. I think that Chloe always looks like herself. She always somehow looks like she's thrown it on, but also like in a effortless but also put together way. Yeah, it just looked really kind of rock and roll.
So my second one I'd say is Lupita Nyong'o. I did love her in the green Gucci gown, and I loved seeing the image of the pleated skirt just flicked up in the air, and I loved the tones against her skin because she's got such a rich skin tone. She embraces her afro hair, and her hairstylists are always so creative with it. Just shows that afro hair is elegant. Afro hair can be, you know, beautiful as well as any other hairstyle. So I thought that was so beautiful. It's just effortless as well. Yeah, I loved it.
Second favorite look from the Cannes Film Festival is Emilia Clarke. She was a blonde at the time, so it was kind of interesting. We were, toying with colors and what color are we going to make the dress. And she wore a custom Christian Dior purple kind of one-shouldered gown. There was a pair of these Bulgari earrings that, I had seen in a magazine. They were a kind of a large hoop, but they had stars, a star in it, and it just complemented everything, and it just kind of felt like the right touch for it.
As a stylist, it's a dream to dress anyone for Cannes. The designers know they're going to get these incredible images, so they really do pull out the stops and give you incredible off-runway looks to choose from. You're seeing really fresh and new concepts and gowns that no one's seen before, so there's something really magical about that.
There's so much glamour around the event itself. Great parties, all the yachts are there. There's just a lot going on, so it's good fun, yeah.